Did they stop replying? No warning, just cut you off out of nowhere. Just poof, disappeared. Yeah, that's rude. Or maybe it isn't. This is what ghosting is. Before you spiral and get angry again in regards to this recent feeling of being ghosted again, let me tell you why this is a blessing in disguise. What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Pri. I'm back again with another little video around the topic of being ghosted. Why am I doing this right now? Because it seems to be coming up as a standard thing that arises when it comes to dating. It's a challenge for a lot of people. It affects a lot of people personally. And it's just a case of, one, why are people doing it in the first place? And two, like, I know it sucks and it feels a bit shitty, but I wanted to try and articulate a way in where you can manage those feelings so you don't really take much insult in regards to what's just happened. Like, you don't put that all on yourself. And so yeah, in this video, kind of just want to make it around the whole dating world and the ghosting element that arises. But before I go any further, standard video house rules when it comes to like YouTube. If you haven't subscribed yet and you're a fan of my unfiltered nature, hit that subscribe button right now. It goes a long way. You hear me say it all the time. And yeah, if you're a fan of the video, if you're a fan of the content and you want to hear me talk about more things, drop your comments, drop a like, let me know what your thoughts are so I can then start reading and figure out what it is that you particularly want, what resonates particularly well with you, and then be able to take it to the next level. So yeah, if you could do that, much appreciated. So yeah, let's get back into the video. So imagine this, you're texting someone. It's going great. The energy's flowing. Everything seems to be going to plan. You're even making plans. And then out of nowhere, nothing. Like, hello, it's been a couple of hours now. Like literally, no response. It's now the next morning, no response. A couple of days later, still no response. You start double checking everything. You start checking the other socials if you're following there. You can see that they're active, but generally just don't want to respond to you. The conversation was flowing. We were planning like, when to meet up and all of that. Like, you just disappeared. What the hell? And then you start overthinking. Did I say something wrong? Did I cross a boundary? Am I really not that interesting? Oh, long. And this seems to be a standard challenge that comes around for people when it comes to dating. So let me stop you right there. I'm gonna explain what's really going on at the moment. You've been ghosted. They've ignored you, they've blanked you, they've left you out to dry. It sucks. But I'm gonna give you the 5 most common reasons why you've been ghosted. Let me land. Number 1, they're emotionally immature. So in this dating space right now, you've been messaging, you've been going back to back, and all of a sudden they just have disappeared. Me, in my personal opinion, what that really says is they're just not mature enough to communicate back to you like an adult. Like, think about it. You possibly wouldn't have done that to them. And so clearly they don't showcase the level of maturity levels that you bring to the table and just felt the need to just ignore you like you're nothing. Kind of rude, kind of childish. It sucks. But what does that say about them? Number 2, they're never really serious in the first place. What does that say in regards to their intentions? They are willing to just like blank you, completely forget about you. They started conversation and just lost their energy. Were they really bothered? Is that a blessing in disguise? Let me land. The 3rd reason that comes to my mind, maybe they just found someone else. It happens, all right? It's a bit harsh, I know. The reality when it comes to dating is that we have this swipe culture and we could be chatting to multiple people, and I condone it as well. So, but that doesn't mean it's right to ghost. You could possibly just be more polite and say, sorry, I'm no longer interested. Wish you all the best and keep it moving. But for whatever reason, this person just felt like they wanted to possibly spend more of their energy in someone else, and maybe they've just found something new or someone they've been speaking to for a while and they just want to progress there. It's totally fine. It's harsh, but that's possibly a 3rd reason. 4thly, maybe they just got overwhelmed. Think about it like this. Maybe you just brought so much good stuff. They never experienced this before. Maybe they self-sabotaged because you're just a great person. And that's not a bad thing, because I know you're probably going to be like, so what am I meant to do? Be a dick? You ask the right questions. You challenge them to think differently. Maybe they just weren't ready for someone like you. Maybe they did feel overwhelmed in regards to what was brought to the table. If we think about it from a very, very different perspective, maybe they were just overwhelmed in regards to what dating's really like. Maybe they just started dating. A number of reasons in regards to this overwhelming feeling. So again, don't take it to heart. And finally, the 5th most common reason, in my personal opinion, is that maybe they would just enjoy playing these kind of games. Look, it's not one for me. I try and reiterate to my clients when they go through this situation when it comes to dating, it's not on you. Maybe this person just likes doing this right now. It sucks. I don't understand it. I don't get what satisfaction people get from this, but respectfully, maybe they do. We can't judge these people for that. We just don't want them in our space moving forward. Maybe if they just like playing games, they just felt it was okay to play with your emotions a tad. And that's fine, we keep it moving. Those are, in my opinion, the 5 most common reasons why people ghost. However, here's one thing that no one talks about when it comes to being ghosted. Probably things you haven't thought about. Let me just articulate it for you in a way where it's gonna just change the spectrum and your opinion in regards to yourself and how you date moving forward. Number 1, the reason why they've ghosted right now, Maybe they just sense that you are too available. Sometimes, a harsher reality to this, when they just know you're available, you're there, and it feels like they've secured you. There's not much more of a chase involved here. They lose interest. I know it sounds messed up, all right? But it's a harsh reality of what happens in this dating game that we call it. The other flip side of it, maybe their life is just very chaotic. Maybe they just don't have time for dating. Maybe they've been forced into the situation where they need to try and get to know someone. And maybe what you're putting out there right now has come across as, damn, I just don't have the time and energy to respond. However, I do feel if you are one of those ghosts right now, have the common courtesy just to let someone know, all right? It's not that deep. It doesn't go a long way. I've been in that boat and I'm going to talk about my scenario very, very soon. But respectfully, come on, people, just let people know. Communication goes a long way, and I guarantee you people will respect you a lot more if you just say, sorry, I'm just very busy. I'm free. And this is more about them. Maybe they just know deep down, they just can't meet your standards. So they felt it was easy to just not respond, not reply, just stay away and keep it moving elsewhere, because you brought to the table was much more than what they possibly were going to bring to the table. Maybe they felt embarrassed. Maybe it's their self-worth or the love they have within themselves is low. And yeah, again, nothing to do with you. I'm going to touch upon one other thing. Again, nothing to do with you. And I think one thing we don't do in this situation, we don't look at the bigger picture. We don't consider all other scenarios to why someone decided to just ignore us and just stop talking. And kind of mentioned it in regards to their life being chaotic, but I want to change it towards headspace. We don't know what people go through. You and I know something can happen in a blink of an eye, whether it's a family emergency, maybe it's a personal emergency, and that just takes your mind off the current situation at hand, right? So maybe in this situation, you're texting and you're speaking, and then all of a sudden something's happened, and they're like, yeah, this isn't a priority right now. That is. And respectfully, they've gone about it and they're handling whatever it is that's going on right now. And because this wasn't as much of a priority, and maybe the moment has now gone, they possibly can't then re-enter that conversation. Again, I don't agree. Don't think it's that deep to just say, hey, sorry, something's going on right now. Maybe it's not the right time to speak. I'm not in the right headspace. I'm not in the right capacity, or something personal's going on. Apologies for not responding any sooner. It's probably best you speak to someone else. I'm just going to unmatch. I'm not ready. Bye. That's a very, very nicer way of possibly being able to just let someone know. That's a major reason. Things are going on behind the scenes that you're unaware of. And it makes total sense when you think about it, because if you're not a priority, you're just getting to know someone respectfully. Of course, if something else comes up and it's really important, it makes sense. And I'm gonna tell you my example in regards to this. So I remember I was seeing this girl and things were going very well, and she just disappeared. It sucked, she disappeared. And I was like, huh? Where's this come from? And I think prior me in the past, when I first started dating, before I did coaching, would have been very triggered by this. I would have been thinking, what did I do wrong? Was it me? Did I say something? Was that a bad joke? Did I come off across too strong? I did kind of the things that you're probably doing right now. Fast forward a number of years later, working on myself, understanding a bit more about myself, coaching, looking at the bigger picture, I started to realize that maybe something's going on behind the scenes right now. So maybe I shouldn't jump to conclusion from a negative standpoint. I should just be a bit more mindful that maybe something is going on behind the scenes, hence why this person has chosen not to respond. That was a couple of weeks, and out of nowhere, I got a response back saying, hi, I'm so sorry I didn't message you back. Something kicked off. I won't go into the details. Quite personal and close to home, and respectfully, that was the reason why they just stopped speaking. Did it suck? Yeah. Did I feel like they could have possibly said it a little bit earlier? Yeah. And I handled the situation a bit differently. I said to them, totally respect that. I understand, hope everything's okay. But then I doubled down and I said, look, listen, moving forward, I can appreciate something's going on right now. And if these are the things that are going to happen, maybe you're not in the right space to possibly get to know me on that level. This is not me saying goodbye, but this is more of me saying right now, when things are possibly better and you can get to know me, like the capacity we were trying to get to know each other when we were going kind of back to back and speaking every day, via text and message, let me know. And if I'm available, maybe we can pursue and see what's there. But right now, it's probably a good point for me to just check out. That's nothing to do with you and your situation. I totally respect it and I get it. But from my point of view, I think how I would have handled that situation would have been just a quick message just to let you know I'm going to be unavailable because of X, Y, and Z. I've been a little bit more transparent. You disappeared for a couple of weeks. And to me, I felt like you just didn't value trying to get to know someone. And I feel like in life, when you're with a partner, regardless, you don't just shut people off. You are meant to let them know. That's my personal view on it. It's nice to let them know and keep them in the loop. And it kind of encourages you to still do you. At the same time, yeah, we totally respected it. And they apologized again. I said, no, that's totally fine. Just wish you all the best. And yeah, that was that. I won't tell you what's happened since, but respectfully, I handled that situation very different because I could appreciate moving forward that maybe things do go on. And people are just going to handle them differently. One thing I did take away from this is that people aren't going to handle things like I would. I'm not trying to find someone who definitely will handle the situation like me. I'm trying to find someone who will learn to understand and gravitate towards that kind of energy. And the most important person to be respectful in this scenario is yourself. So if you have been ghosted, don't take it to heart. The overriding conclusion I'm trying to like drive into this right now is it's not you. If you showed up, if you gave energy, you kind of can't get upset at yourself for someone not being able to respect your values and your boundaries, because we have no control over that. So don't beat yourself up if you're doing that right now. But here's something I would do moving forward if you have been ghosted, or if someone's taken like a break and just gone completely quiet out of nowhere. If you're in the scenario right now, here's what I think you should be doing. I think the common advice people say is don't double down, don't text back, don't respond, don't seek closure, own the fact that maybe they're just not interested, don't waste your time, move in silence, all of that jazz. If you're able to take a step back and look at the bigger picture and think, what are the possible reasons right now that X, Y, and Z is happening? Have they mentioned something to you about maybe them being ill, or maybe they've got something personal going on behind the scenes, family stuff, work-related stuff? If someone's gone a bit quiet over the next few days and you're a bit curious, I would double down. I would message back, because I feel like our pride and ego stops us from doing that. And then we don't want to be mugged off, so we refuse to possibly ignite that conversation. And possibly igniting that conversation could take you to where you want to be, because that is the right person that you're meant to spend the rest of your life with. Maybe something is generally going on. Like, if you really want to message, just message. At least this way it gives you a little bit more clarity. If they respond, great. If they don't respond, okay, cool. I think we should always be looking at the best case scenario. So if you don't want to respond and you want to keep it moving, you're like, you know what, forget this, done. Best case scenario, you're no longer wasting your time on this particular individual. It's done, keep it moving, thank you, all the best. Best case scenario, if you did respond, or you double down with a text or a phone call, look, you'll either get a response and they'll tell you what's up, they'll either ignore you and you'll get better clarity that they just aren't really interested, and you're able to still keep it moving. But yeah, I just feel like it's quite important to feel this energy right now and understand the fact that if someone just goes, bye, it ain't anything to do with you. But yeah, I'm gonna throw it out there. If you feel like you've been in this scenario and it sucks and you wanna get a little bit more clarity around the situation, so you know where you can find me on Instagram, drop me a message, let me know what's going on, and maybe we can get you involved in a little call and talk about it from a different capacity, and see if we can start helping you think a little bit differently, because maybe your scenario, you just haven't looked at it and you're coming in like this. You're just looking at it from this scenario. And if by me helping you look at the bigger picture, we might be able to save a scenario that's going on. But yeah, leave it there. It's been your boy Pri. I'll catch you a lot soon. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, peace.